guys, Nick here. Welcome back to another video. Where in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my picks for the finalist for the Hart Trophy this season. And I'm also going to be discussing who I think of the three players who's going to win it. So, if you guys, hopefully, you'll enjoy this one. Okay, so there were three main players that I chose for my finalists. And my finalists that I had were actually Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers, Nathan MacKinnon of the Colorado Avalanche, and David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins. So one thing before I give my reasoning for all of them, I'm just going to flat out say it. In my opinion, I would probably give the edge to MacKinnon to start, only because he's really just not played with. See, Draisaitl has had, now I'm not saying, like, you know, he's better or anything, but he's been mainly having pretty consistent line mates this season. You know, with McDavid, and, you know, it's mainly been consistent on who they've been playing with. And same with Pastrnak. He's also been playing with Marchand Bergeron for most of the season. Now, MacKinnon, however, I'd probably put him just a tiny bit, have the edge over these two, only because he really hasn't had consistent line mates this entire season, because he mainly plays with Draisaitl. He mainly plays with Landeskog and Rantanen, and they've both been out long term this season, so they've been like flopping his wingers around, but yet his production has still been really consistent this season, and he's just been amazing this season so far. My case for Draisaitl is that, I mean, he leads the league in points, assists, power play points. He's fourth in goals with 43, behind Ovi, Pasta, and Matthews. He hasn't played with McDavid at all in 5-on-5 this season, or at least in the regular season. In 5-on-5, he isn't really line mates with him, so, you know, he does that all on his own, unless, you know, the power plays with McDavid, but he's really good on 5-on-5. I think it's 5-on-5 per 60 minutes points, average 2.87 or something like that, something ridiculous. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of ice time on 5-on-5. I think he averages 4th among skaters in that category, with like somewhere around 14 minutes. So he doesn't get a lot of ice time. I mean, well, he does get a lot of ice time for forwards, but if you put in perspective, you know, like 2.87 points, you know, on average, in that time, on average, that's a lot. That's ridiculous. But he's really impressive. He has helped the Oilers. He's been the best, in my opinion, he's been the best player. Well, obviously, you're going to argue between him and McDavid. I mean, they're both amazing, okay? They're both outstanding. But in my opinion, I'd say Draisaitl has played better this season, in points-wise, I mean, obviously. Points-wise, Draisaitl's just been better in getting points and goals. And yeah, that's my case. He should be up there, and he deserves it. Okay, next I'm going to talk about Nathan MacKinnon. So basically, MacKinnon has managed to put up really good stats this season. He's having in terms of points, having the greatest season he's had so far. And he's just been really, like, a really solid player this season. Really exciting to watch. He's 5th in points, 93 points this season. He's playing awesome, and he hasn't had consistent line mates all season. I mean, you look at Rantanen and you look at Landeskog. Both of them has been out for a long term, so his wingers have really, like, switched up, and it's really unfortunate. I mean, I know he's been playing with, I think he played with Nick Kuchin for a couple games, correct me if I'm wrong, Burakovsky. He might have played with Jost for a game or two, but I can't remember. But, you know, he has, you know, he has not really consistent wingers, and it's unfortunate, but for the Avs, I mean, they've dealt with so many injuries, but the good news is they've still been able to win, and MacKinnon's been a big part of that, so without McKinnon, this team would be down in the dumps. And one more thing before I move on, I also like to look at, how important is that player to a team? Like, if you subtract that player off their team, could they still be able to do, obviously they won't be able to do as well, but will they be able to be, not terrible? And when I look at, Pasternak, I mean, they still got Marchand, they still got Bergeron, and they still have a pretty solid team overall. And if you look at, they haven't had much injuries this season. And if you look at Draisaitl, obviously they still have McDavid. I mean, obviously, Oilers wouldn't be as good. That time McDavid was out for a week. The Oilers would have just sank there. And I think Draisaitl played a huge role in that. And if you look at the Avs, if you look at the lineup before the season stopped, literally they had McKinnon and then a bunch of decent to not really that good players. And without McKinnon on that team, they would have just fell. They would have fell completely, and a huge part of that was McKinnon. And McKinnon basically saved their season. And lastly, we got David Pasternak. Well, Pasternak, he's tied for the league in goals with 48, tied with Ovi. He hasn't really put up too many points. He's obviously put up a credible amount of points, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he is last out of the three. I might be wrong about this. I'm pretty sure I am. But I believe he's last of the... No, I think he's ahead of McKinnon in points, but I can't remember who's ahead between Pasternak and McKinnon. I'm drawing a blank there, but I'm pretty sure Pasternak is, but I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But either way, he scored lots of goals, obviously, but he's played on a line. His line mates have been really consistent this season. That line is great. That line's fantastic. He did go through a little bit of struggles there. He had a giant gap in the lead, and then it got really closed up, and he didn't really play that good as of lately. So, yeah. And he still deserves. He's played fantastic this season. Do not get me wrong at all. He's played really fantastic this season, and I think he definitely deserves to be in the top three. But I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Okay, now getting into our conclusion here, basically, is what I'm going to call this. So, overall, who I do think should win it out of the three is Nathan McKinnon. And the reason why McKinnon, as I said, he hasn't had consistent line mates this season, basically helped save, their team. And he's just played a huge part in getting that team good this season. Definitely deserves to be up there. One of, if not the best season of his career so far. And he looks awesome out there. And he's a really exciting player to watch. And definitely, I would say number one. And right behind him, I would probably put Draisaitl at number two, only because of, that time when McDavid was out, and he doesn't really play with McDavid. And he really helps that Oilers team to where they are now. So I would definitely put Draisaitl number two. And then I'd probably put Pasternak number three, because, he's had consistent line mates. He has actually a good team. And even though they went through some struggles, he did struggle as well, which is why I'd probably put him at three. And then just to round out a top five, because I guess why not, I'd probably put Panarin fourth. You could argue that he deserves to be in the top three, in my opinion. I put him fourth, because don't get me wrong, Panarin and McDavid, you could definitely have a good argument why they should be in here too. I put Panarin fourth, McDavid five. But definitely, all five of those guys deserve to be in the top three, but you can only choose three for your nominees, and those were the three I chose. Panarin just didn't make the cut for me, because, in my opinion, here's why. Basically, the Rangers are currently not in a playoff spot, which is, for me, a big no-no for this voting, because in my opinion, it should go to a guy who helps the team get in the playoffs. And since the Rangers, I mean, they were close, don't get me wrong. I think if the regular season continues and the Rangers make the playoffs, Panarin would be in the top 3. I think so. But as of right now, those 3 teams I just named, as of right this second, would be in the playoffs. And the Rangers wouldn't. So that was like the only reason why I said no. And McDavid was because, in my opinion, Draisaitl's been the better player this season, for points-wise. And, you know, obviously, McDavid missed some part of the season as well, which is kind of why, you know, why he is also that low. But in my opinion, the Edmonton Oilers should have Draisaitl in instead of McDavid. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and wash your hands. Please do, seriously, wash your hands. Stay indoors. And yeah, comment your thoughts. Comment who you guys think are going to win the Hart. Let me know that in the comments. And if you guys can't tell, I'm like sitting crisscross right now. Because why not? And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.